Hi, I'm Herm Gailey, here with 18-month-old Buddy. We've had him since he was a weanling, and going to discuss my feelings on when you should start your horse under saddle, and also to introduce the idea of a pre-start, doing things in advance of the actual riding process to get your horse ready to ride, so that when you do get around to getting on his back, things are going to go a little smoother. So here's the big debate, and it's going to rage on forever, and I may as well take a place in it, and that is start early or start late. At 18 months, this colt is in many people's programs only about 2 months away from having his first ride. To me, this guy's a baby. He's about 14.2. If he looks smaller, it's because I'm pretty tall. But I've ridden horses smaller than him, but he's going to grow quite a bit. He's going to be a lot more horse in a year, and I'd rather have him have the opportunity to grow up, get more mature before I put a leg over him. But there are those who are involved in 3-year-old futurities, and they say, we don't want to be behind. I've made a conscious choice to be behind. You will never see me ride into the show pen on a 3-year-old. I never have, never will. I'm never going to show in aged events. I'm going to show these horses when they're ready, which is usually sometime late in their 4-year-old year. So that gives you plenty of time. On the other hand, there's a school of thought that says, wait till they have reached skeletal maturity. Wait till they're grown-ups before you start them. Wait till they're 4 years old. So here's Buddy, and I'm going to go over and get my friend Mike, and let's consider what you might be up against if you waited till age 4. Now Mike is straight out of the pasture. I've been riding him, but he's been out having a good time, so he's covered in mud. But this is what you get when you decide you're going to start your 4-year-old. This horse is a hand taller than the yellow colt, and it looks like a mare in his foal. Mike is a big, strong horse. He's a pleasant horse. He was started in his 2-year-old year, but not used hard. I wouldn't want to tackle him if he had never been handled, never been readied, and never been ridden till now. Here's what you get when you start a 4-year-old like this. He comes on, he's covered in mud like he is, he's got burrs in his tail, Hancock on his papers, and murder in his heart. And I want to have a couple of years of handling in on him before he gets to be a big boy like this. Because if he just came straight in with very little handling, he wouldn't be standing there like Grandma's horse. He'd be fooling around, he'd be scared, he'd be bronky. Why do that to him? Why do that to you? So I'm going to take a page from an old friend's book who, as he got older, I noticed he was starting his colts a little younger. And I said, what's the deal? You're starting your colts a little bit younger than you used to. He said, yeah, I've learned it's better to start them when they're little and weak. Well, you don't want them too little, or you don't want them too weak, but this horse is 15.2 hands. He's strong. He weighs probably 1,200 or better. And if he wants to split me down the middle like a piece of dry kindling, he can do it whenever he wants to. And I've spent the last 2 years making damn sure he doesn't want to. And he's a reliable, pleasant, easygoing horse. But I'm not sure he would be if I had just jerked him out of the pasture and said, okay, you've had your 4 years to grow up, now it's time to be introduced to education. The other thing to take into account is younger horses are more at risk for soundness issues, but so are older horses, because they're going to resist more. It's going to be a harsher process in many cases. You're going to wind up having to ride them more. They're not in shape. They haven't developed the same way as they would when they were started as 2-year-olds. So you're more likely, or just as likely, to hurt the older horse that you start at 4 years old as a good fall of the year 2-year-old. So that's my timeline right there. This colt is about a year away from getting started. Probably September or October of next year, I'll get on his back. He'll be 2.5 years old, about 30 months, and I'll put 12 rides on him, or maybe 20 rides on him, but they're going to be 15-minute rides, 20-minute rides. He's going to learn to go around the round pen. He's going to learn to walk, jog, lope, stop, back up, steer around, go outside, and be a good citizen. And then he's going to go out for the winter, and it'll be spring till I get back to him. Have I started 4-year-olds? I've started a ton of 4-year-olds. I really think that the process goes better when you start younger. And you're going to have a lot more longevity as a horse starter, because when you hit resistance in a 2-year-old, it's usually short-lived and half-hearted. You get a 4-year-old, they're going to have a lot of opinions, they're going to have a lot of strength, and they may have the will to back it up. So for that reason, I like to start them a little bit younger, to where you can get rid of that stupidness that he's doing easier. What if he was a 4-year-old acting dumb like that? You know, I can straighten him up real easily now. If he was this horse's size and age, it would be harder. And by the way, this colt right here, I'm going to predict when he's a 4-year-old, he's going to be just about the same size as this gelding. So right now, he looks like a baby. He is a baby. He ain't getting started by me. But when he is, he'll be big enough to break the ice and start down the road to being a better citizen. So we're going to be putting up a series of videos, though, showing the things you can do, beginning with weanlings, to get your horse ready for a career ahead, so that when the time comes to start him, it's going to be a low-stress process for everybody. Till then, those are my thoughts on when you start your horses. I'd be interested to hear from you as to your thoughts. There are both sides to the debate, and I acknowledge that there's a lot of horses get started late, work out real well, but I think there's a bigger risk. Let's all be safe. Let's all be smart. Let's all use good judgment. Let's all have a good time with our horses. Till next time.